I tried to register my son for kindergarten and the registrar said, "Your son is already enrolled here, but ma'am, he hasn't attended in 3 weeks. Is everything okay at home?" I stared at her, confused. "What are you talking about? My son just turned 5. He's never been enrolled anywhere." She frowned and pulled up her computer screen. "Mrs. Anderson, according to our records, Ethan Anderson has been attending first grade since last September, but his teacher reported him absent for the past 3 weeks. We've been trying to contact you." My stomach dropped. "That's impossible. My Ethan is 5. He's in the car with my husband right now." The registrar's face went pale. She called over the principal, Mr. Davis, who reviewed the records himself. "This is very strange. Let me pull up his file." He turned the monitor toward me. There was a school photo of a boy who looked shockingly similar to my son, just slightly older. Same brown hair, same dimples, same crooked smile. But it wasn't Ethan. "Who is this?" I whispered. "That's the student we have enrolled as Ethan Anderson," Mr. Davis said carefully. "He attended regularly until 3 weeks ago." My hands started shaking. "I need you to call the police, right now." Mr. Davis hesitated. "Ma'am, are you sure? Maybe there's just a clerical error. That child is using my son's name, birth date, and address," I said firmly. "Someone stole my son's identity. This is fraud." 2 hours later, Detective Morris sat across from me in the principal's office. "So someone enrolled a child using your son's complete identity last year?" "Apparently," I said, my hands still trembling, "but I don't understand how." Mr. Davis looked embarrassed. "We require a birth certificate and proof of residence. Whoever enrolled him had both." "Can you trace where he is now?" I asked. The detective made some calls. When he hung up, his expression was grim. "The contact person listed for pickup is Rebecca Anderson." My heart stopped. Rebecca? My sister Rebecca? I hadn't spoken to Rebecca in 4 years. She'd burned every bridge in our family, stolen from our parents, lied constantly. Last I heard, she was living 2 towns over with her son. Her son. "Oh my God," I whispered. "She used my information to get her kid into this school district." Detective Morris leaned forward. "People lie about residency all the time, but stealing a child's complete identity? That's serious fraud." "Her son is only a year older than mine," I said, feeling sick. "She must have altered his birth certificate." The detective made more calls. Within an hour, he had the full picture. "Your sister was arrested 3 weeks ago on check fraud and identity theft charges. That's why the child stopped attending school." "What about her son?" I asked quietly. "He's been placed in emergency foster care. When your sister was arrested, there was no other guardian available." My throat tightened. 3 weeks in foster care. 3 weeks of confusion and fear. That little boy, my nephew, had no idea his whole life was built on a lie. The next morning, I drove to the county jail. Rebecca sat on the other side of the glass partition, looking exhausted. "Why?" I asked. "Why would you do this?" She met my eyes. "Your life is perfect, Sarah. I just wanted something good for my son. He deserved a good school." "So you stole my child's identity?" "I didn't think you'd find out," she said quietly. "I thought by the time your Ethan was old enough for kindergarten, we'd have moved." "You committed fraud, Rebecca." "I know," her voice cracked, "but my son is innocent. He doesn't deserve to suffer because of me." I hung up the phone and walked out. I went home that night and sat with my husband, Mark. "What are we going to do?" Mark asked. I'd been thinking about it all day. About that little boy who'd done nothing wrong except be born to the wrong mother, who'd been attending school under my son's name, living a lie he didn't create. 6 months later, after background checks, home studies, and more paperwork than I thought possible, my nephew moved into our guest room. We legally changed his first name to James, his middle name, to avoid confusion. My son Ethan got the big brother he'd always wanted. I came to register one son and left with 2. One I gave birth to, one I chose to save. Both are mine now.